Welcome. I'm delighted that you decided to join us on this 3-part course in meditation that will involve 2 videos and 1 audio. So let's begin at the beginning with finding out how meditation works. Meditation, also referred to as mindfulness, is found in all spiritual traditions and cultures across the world and is used as a means of accessing our creative energy and inspiration that lies within us all. The symbol that's been used to express this idea throughout all time is the tree of life. For just as the tree draws nourishment through its roots that are hidden in the earth, our true source of nourishment comes from within. So meditation allows us to reawaken this part of ourselves that has been sleeping far too long. So let's begin by taking a look at the mind and the different levels of consciousness to see how meditation works. The totality of the mind is vast, but we only use a very small part of it, which is the conscious thinking mind. On the basis of thought, we act. So from the moment we wake up in the morning, we are thinking what we'll wear, what we'll eat, what we'll do during the day. And we're on this treadmill of thought, action, until we go to bed at night when we drift into deep sleep and dream states of consciousness. But just as the sun gives life to planet Earth, there's a source of untapped potential within us from which our creativity, vitality, inspiration, wisdom, and feelings of joy and love arise. And this is our truth, our essence, the sacred part of ourselves that's indefinable, inexpressible, yet it can be experienced. But owing to patterns of tension or impressions that cloud the mind, it remains elusive and hidden. Every moment we're on the receiving end of impressions that fall upon the mind, and for the most part these wash through us, leaving no trace. But if the impression is strong, it leaves its mark as a pattern of tension or contraction, which subsequently has an effect upon our emotions, our thinking, and our behaviour. So how do meditation techniques work? They're simply tricks or techniques that allow the mind to drop, as revealed in the word mantra. The word mantra comes from the word manas, meaning mind, and tra, meaning trick. So a word, a sound, a visual image, or the breath can be used, and when used correctly, it allows mental activity to refine itself. And as the mind and body work in conjunction with one another, the physical activity settles down too, and the body experiences a deep state of rest, different from that of dream and sleep states of consciousness. It's a state of restful alertness. And during this state of restful alertness, the release process begins, because all the body and mind want to do is to heal itself so that it can function properly. So the release process, the release of these patterns of tension, occurs spontaneously, without us having to do anything to initiate it. At the same time, the meditation technique acts as a carrier wave for the mind to travel inward, opening up a pathway to the superconscious mind and allowing us to have greater access to all the qualities that reside therein. So the benefits of meditation are far-reaching and occur on every level of our being. The practice is easy to learn and effortless to use, and it requires no concentration or effort. All I do as your teacher is to help you get out of the way, and then the practice can do its work. The teaching. All you need to do on your part is find a place in your home that's conducive to meditation and that's away from household activities. Initially, I'll be teaching you lying down, although later you can sit. So you can use a yoga mat or a rug on the floor or your bed if it's firm. Have a blanket nearby because you might get chilly, and have a small pillow under your head. Initially, I will take you in and out of meditation a few times, asking you to open and close the eyes, just while I give you certain very simple instructions. And then I will lead you into a 10-minute meditation before bringing you out gently at the end. And this part of the course will be an audio. The third part, which will be another video, I will explain all your experiences, why you may have physical sensations, why thoughts and feelings arise in the mind, and how the whole process of release of stress occurs during meditation. In the meantime, all I ask is that you have an open mind to the experience, and remember that meditation is a time when we're offering ourselves up for healing on every level of our being. It is not about seeking experience. We meditate for the way we feel afterwards in daily life, and that is where you will find the benefits occurring. Welcome to the experience of meditation. I hope you found a quiet place where you can lie down comfortably and are warm. The practice is easy to learn and completely effortless. And I'd like to begin by reassuring you that thoughts are a part of meditation. It's the nature of the mind to think, so don't resist thoughts or resent them. And it doesn't matter what they're about. They may be about your meditation practice, what you're doing during the day, or thoughts about the past or future. Just be reassured that thoughts play a key role in the process of release of tension. So let's begin by closing our eyes. And with the eyes closed, be aware of how effortlessly thoughts float across the mind. Now very gently take your awareness to your breath. Just a vague, lazy awareness of the in-breath and the out-breath, the rise and fall of the chest. And there's no need to alter your breathing in any way. Open the eyes. Now in that time your mind may have wandered, and that's perfectly all right. But when you have that thought, I'm not thinking about my breathing anymore, then very gently return your attention to the breath again. So let's close our eyes and try that again. Now gently return your attention to the breath. Just having a vague, lazy awareness of the in-breath and the out-breath, not minding if thoughts come and go. Now open the eyes. Now remember that it's natural for the mind to wander, so if your attention drifts away from the breath, that's fine. This time when we meditate, we're going to introduce a sound. We'll begin in the same way by taking our attention to the breath, but after a minute or so, you'll hear me say the sound, and when you do, just allow its vibration to wash through you. So let's close our eyes again. Now very effortlessly begin to think the sound Abun, Abun, Abun. Just let the sound float through your mind, experiencing it however it comes. Now open the eyes again. Now the sound may change. It may get slower, faster, alter in rhythm or pace, or even its pronunciation may change. Just experience it however it comes, allowing the vibration to wash through you. And the same applies as when we were meditating with the breath. When you're aware that your mind has wandered off onto thoughts, just very gently return your attention to the breath and then the sound. So this time, I'll lead you into a 10-minute meditation. We'll begin by closing the eyes, and after a minute or so, return your awareness to the breath, and then I'll say the sound again. And now begin to think the sound. Abun, abun, abun. And remember that when your mind drifts off onto thoughts, first return your attention to the breath and then reintroduce the sound again. And we'll meditate like this for 10 minutes. take a couple of minutes to come out of meditation slowly, no longer returning your attention to the breath or the sound. Slowly open the eyes, and in your own time have a stretch and bring yourself back to the room. And at this point I'd like to reassure you that whatever experience you had was perfect for you at this time. And in part 3 I will give a full explanation of what actually happens during meditation and how the process of release occurs, which will explain many of your possible experiences. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Welcome back. Now you've had the experience of meditation, I can explain your experiences and what actually occurs during the process. So when we begin to meditate, it's good to begin by very, very gently taking your awareness to the breath. Just being aware of the rise and fall of the chest, the in-breath, the out-breath. And as we do so, mental activity begins to settle down. But when you take your attention to the sound, if you think it or feel it very effortlessly, the vibration just washes through you. It may lengthen, it may shorten, it may change in rhythm and pace, or even the order of the syllables may change, or its pronunciation. It does so as the sound refines itself. And the more the sound refines itself, the mental activity settles down, the physical activity settles down, and we achieve this state of restful alertness. And because it's the nature of the body and mind to throw off any restrictions that inhibit it from functioning properly, the release process begins to occur. So in this state of restful alertness, the release of stress patterns, impressions, patterns of tension begins, which conversely sets up activity in the body and mind. And it's expressed as thoughts. So we go in on the sound, and then there's an outward movement as the release process begins and sets up activity. And it's only when we break onto the conscious thinking level that we're suddenly aware we've been in a train of thoughts. And that's perfectly correct meditation. But as soon as we have that thought, oh, I'm not thinking the mantra anymore, we return to the sound, which takes us back in again. So meditation is a process of inward movement and outward movement, inward movement and outward movement. And all we have to do is to return to the sound when we're aware that we're not thinking it anymore. And that is correct meditation. So essentially, two things occur in meditation. Owing to the deep level and quality of rest that is achieved, these impressions that have been there for as long as we can remember begin to break up, pixelate and dissolve. And simultaneously, every time we meditate, a pathway is being opened up to the superconscious mind, allowing us to draw upon all the qualities that reside therein. The word we're using, or the sound, is Aramaic, which is one of the 4 sacred languages, meaning each word, each syllable, each sound has many layers of meaning and has power and potential. So the word is Awun. The sound Ah means limitlessness or oneness. The sound Bua is birthing. Ooh is the outflow of spirit into form. And seals it in form. So the word Awun means rebirthing or recreating ourselves, which is what meditation is allowing us to do. To help you with your practice, we've compiled a list of reminders which I'll read through now. Reminders. Don't concentrate on the sound, just feel it or think it lazily. The sound may become longer, shorter, clearer, fainter. The pronunciation may change, or it may not change at all. It may get so faint that you're scarcely aware of it, but it's still there as a vibration. The sound may associate itself with the breathing, which is fine, but neither encourage or discourage this. Just let it happen. And when the mind wanders off, first return to the breath and then reintroduce the sound, although it's not important which order they come. Breathing, sound and thoughts all play alongside each other, and you can just observe the play. Don't resist or resent thoughts, and it's irrelevant what they're about, mundane or profound. We cannot have too many thoughts. They're a sign that release is occurring, and we don't want to interrupt this. So all thoughts, feelings, and visual images should be regarded as the byproduct of the release of stress. In meditation, thoughts serve the same function as dreams do in sleep. And just as dreams are a release valve for the mind. So are thoughts in meditation. Without them, the release process cannot happen. Physical sensations, laughing, crying, feelings of anxiety, restlessness, boredom, pressure in the head, all indicate deep release is occurring. So just observe the sensation and return to the sound. And if the feeling is strong, take your awareness to the physical sensation for a while, as this has a calming effect and assists the process of release. And don't resist sleep. This may be the most effective way that stress can be released, and most of us have a sleep debt. And remember, there are no good or bad meditations. All meditations are beneficial, and we cannot be the judge of our own meditation. Every time you sit consciously with the eyes closed and take your attention to the sound, healing is taking place. Practicalities. Time yourself with a watch or your phone, and you can bring yourself back with a gentle tone after 15 minutes. And always make sure you're comfortable and warm. Meditate for the time being lying down, but later try sitting. The practice works the same. And this list of reminders is available on our website as a downloadable PDF. So approach each meditation with an open mind, reminding yourselves that it is not about seeking experience. We meditate to enhance the way we feel afterwards in daily life, and it's there that we find the benefits. Meditation is simply a time when we offer ourselves up for healing on every level of our being, and this occurs naturally and spontaneously. Meditation helps these patterns of tension, these impressions dissolve and break apart. But we can hugely accelerate this process by being aware of how these patterns of tension affect us in daily life. On a superficial level, we experience them as apprehensions, inhibitions, and anxieties. But on a deeper level, these surface emotions stem from much deeper levels of fear and a sense of lack that we all carry within us. But because what is inside us is reflected outwardly, and what is outside is reflected inwardly, each moment we are being offered a unique opportunity to recognize these patterns, realize when we get tangled in their web, so that we can more easily free ourselves from their effects. Self-awareness hugely accelerates, alongside meditation, the process of self-transformation. This is a very ancient pathway that's been offered for thousands of years, called different names. Thoth, the great Egyptian master, called it the ancient pathway. Buddha called it the middle way. The Taoists and Yeshua called it the way. And Mary Magdalene called it the way of the chalice, a way of uniting the divine feminine and divine masculine within ourselves. It doesn't matter what it's called. It's a pathway that leads us out of fear, hurt and suffering and into the light. And it's an adventure, one that allows the veils of illusion to disperse and takes us to the pinnacle of ourselves, which is truth and love. So as this course draws to a close, I'd like to thank you for taking part, and we'll hope to see you again soon when we continue on this timeless journey that truly has no beginning and no end.